Hello, guys. This is the American and Uncle Si, and this is Scram Jett. Oh my goodness, I have a package. I'll go get that later on in the show when I kind of take a little break. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm guessing I might know what it is. Our buddy W is taking a break. He's a hard-working man, hard-working dad, and he just called an audible for tonight. Hey, Michael, what's going on? And he asked me and Ty if we wanted to jump on and do the damn thing. You know, Scram Jett. This is, a show that kind of redirects everybody talking about hobbies like, Richie King, redneck pimp. He's a comedian. It's not a hobby, but it probably started out as one. Not to, a bona fide business, just like me. Cooking, was my quote unquote hobby. And now it's a damn sure bona fide business.
I gotta say, I was almost ready to pull your grill card today, but then I realized
we'll talk about that. Yeah. But in life you have to diversify, experiment, and do what you do, even if it goes outside the bounds of sometimes what you consider reality.
Hey, totally makes sense. Yeah,
we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But Scram Jett is a show on the Veterans Anonymous, and let me see here. Now you got to forgive me, guys, because my internet is amazingly crappy, especially because it is snowing here in South Dakota. This is the earliest I've been here where it snowed.
And it seems like your internet just went to crap all of a sudden, because for a while there we were gaming, it was good, and then like poof,
it's just out, But let's talk about in the beginning of the show about some of the shows on the Veterans Anonymous Network. Dave, this is you. I'm gonna go get that package.
Cool. So we're on Twitch, Veterans Anon. We're on YouTube, Veterans Anonymous, and we're on Facebook, Veterans Anonymous 22. You can catch the show Tuesday night. The one you're listening to right now is Scram Jett. That's at 8:00 Central Standard Time. Tomorrow night, one of the better shows, I think the best one, not just because I happen to be on it. 7:00 Wednesday Central Standard Time, the Crossroads show. We like to shoot the breeze, change things up. Sometimes we play Family Feud or different games. We get people involved. Hi, John. Hi, Rusty. Hi, Mike. Thursday nights, we got the two lovable Marines that are crazy motherfuckers with Full Metal Crayon Eaters. Each of those guys are just awesome. They do stuff that I used to be able to do when I was younger and healthy, like 22 push-ups a day. Running across the United States, 3,000 plus miles. And if you look, you can see where our brother and colleague Kyle Killinger, aka Real Baby Jesus, he's I think he's back home in Indiana now, or Ohio. He's got something going on this weekend. He's take a little break, but then he's going to finish up in DC. And he's getting close to it. He's over 2/3 of the way done. So he's on the downhill side, so to speak now, but he could still use some support. This was all funded, crowdfunded, GoFundMe, Venmo, selling t-shirts, stickers. Oh wait, I got a sticker in today. So go to the Because He's My Brother site. You can get you some cool gear, stickers, hats, sweatshirts. And other than that, thank you all for checking us out. If you got stuff you want us to try to talk about or upload, go to veteransanonymous22@gmail.com. So that's about all I got. I think I covered it.
Bam! You're back. Woo! Sorry, I was taking a look at the snow, and I am kind of, not gonna lie, I'm a little tired. I did a lot of plowing, and I wasn't expecting to be plowing as much. I'm not saying I was prepared. I'm always prepared, but I didn't have the plow on the gator, so I had to move the motorcycle, move the truck, get everything that was in between the gator and the plow out the way, get everything back attached to the plow, because we have a bracket that sits under that connects to the plow that holds to the frame of the gator. So when you hit something, it doesn't just jar the frame, it jars that bracket. Then you connect the plow to that bracket, and then you connect the winch to that so you can go up and down Then, of course, I get it up. I didn't season the tip of the plow, so I had to get the grinder out and go to town and get that all done up and faced. And, literally by the time I did that, it was time to plow, and it's wet. It's pretty much done all the snow. It's done the light, fluffy shit. It rained. It's done the wet stuff. It's done a little stuff that looks like little styrofoam pellets.
Yeah. Oh, that's all. That's the fun stuff to shovel. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not at all. Yeah.
Well, hey, it is that time of year for, the people in the higher elevations, just saying.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. It's all good. So, just some business. This is like not the whole barbecue deal. So I was working on getting a generator, and I ordered one on all places, Amazon. It's called the Beast, and hopefully this generator, it had more good reviews than bad reviews. But as a fabricator, design guy, I know everything that's made mechanically is not perfect. Some things are made on Friday at 4:30.
Or Monday at 8:00 when you're hungover.
Yeah, or Monday at 8:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
So this thing is a 15,000 watt dual fuel generator.
Nice.
And it's shipped. So I'm looking forward to trying it out, getting used to it, seeing how loud it actually is. Probably trying to build an extra exhaust manifold on top of it. Just the actual tube.
Yeah.
I don't want to baffle it too much because that back pressure with motors and stuff like that can actually affect it. But I also want the people that come to my food truck to have a better experience and not hear a freaking beast running like.
Oh yeah.
So, but the not bad news, just the disappointing news today is yesterday I got an email from the company and they're another 4 to 6 weeks out.
Man. Now, do you think that's because of supply issues with they
that's
can't
exactly
get the
what
parts?
she told me. She said that their manufacturer, because the company that I went through, they actually just install all the gear. They install the stoves, the ovens, the fryers. I don't have a fryer on mine, but like that stuff. They put the fire suppression systems on. They put all, the propane bottles. They wire it. They plumb it. They do all that part. The company that actually builds the housing. So it's like they built this one company they have builds the house, and they get the house, and then they put everything in the house. So they're waiting for that company to get everything for the house. So the trip I was planning for October is most likely going to be later in November, maybe December. And it all depends on the weather.
Yeah.
Because if we have a really shitty winter, I am not trying to drive down to Tennessee and drive back a 21-foot freaking trailer,
Especially on your driveway, man.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't even bring it to this house. I wouldn't. I have friends. I have places I can bring it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, some people.
I know some people. So, but that's just the thing. It's just it's a little annoying when you got plans, but as we learn in the military, we adapt and overcome.
Back up and regroup.
Back up and regroup. My biggest thing is now that that's happened, I need to really push saw sales. So I've been doing double time on the TikTok, because just because I don't have the trailer doesn't mean I don't have to pay for it. So, yeah. So I have been paying for the trailer since we got the go ahead to buy the trailer, and it has not been able to pay for itself yet.
Not yet.
It's Jay.
Hi, Cricket.
How many of those did you send her that thing I sent you? I told Jett, I admitted to it. On TikTok, if 3 people, one out of 3 people are short, and someone sent this to me, so I'm sending this to you because you must be the short one.
I saw that. I chuckled pretty good.
Well, I sent it to you, I sent it to Michael, and I sent it to Jenny, and I'm like, everyone sent this to Jay. And then it came around again, and then I was like, she's gonna stab us. So, but I am actually excited to open this because I kind of have an idea what it is, but it has not been opened. Dave sent this to me, and
I didn't want you to feel left out.
This is a letter opener. Facebook. I don't know if they care. I'm just so conditioned with TikTok. That's what it is. And we're getting our account built back up by what I was doing today on my cook. We have 50 some odd people. Actually, it's at 1,500 people on that live.
Nice.
Viewed it. So that was kind of neat. I was doing some random stuff. So what is this? This is creepy as fuck. I got a bag of hands. A bag of black hands. I got a bag of black hands. Oh. I got a bag of black hands.
I didn't want you to feel left out.
There's so many. So
you could put one on each finger.
I can do the ultimate knife hand.
Oh, yeah.
Look here. Look here. I'm Space Force. Potato. Wow. Dave.
I went on Amazon to check for these ones, right? And I saw those and I was like, I've got to get those for Felix. He'll just have way too much fun with these.
You know what, Dave? Thank you for giving me more things to talk to my therapist about and not sleep. Wow. These things are weird. These things are weird. And they're so detailed.
Right?
Knife hands. I got infinite knife hands at somebody. When we come over and drink and they say something, I'll just throw this handful of freaking hands out. I'd be like, listen, Linda. Ooh, I took Jade's words.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Knife hands, hands. Yeah, right, Donovan.
Knife hands. Yeah, so this is pretty. I've seen people have these, and are they left and right? Or are they all?
There's left and right ones.
Oh my god!
You got 4 sets of complete hands.
Let us pray. Namaste. Dude, when I go to my therapist's office, like just literally have my club in there and be like, can I have a question? Hello.
Excuse me, I have a question. I must ask you.
Hello. Yes, you there. Stop everything you're doing. Wow. This isn't wow. Woohoo! Yeah, I saw yours and I was like, oh, that's cool. They do different symbols and
this so far this has been my favorite one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, you can't make you can't make a black hand that does that. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them.
Well, I looked because, like I said, I seen these ones that were, they had the peace symbol, the bird one, and I was like, oh, I wonder if, and those were the only melatonin enhanced ones that they had, or melatonin deficient. I can't remember how to say it.
Melatonin enhanced?
Yeah. And they didn't have any posable ones. I was like, man, that sucks.
I could pose them.
Well, you can just take a paper clip and go underneath the fingernail, and then you could pose them, I bet.
Oh, yeah. We have a birthday in the house, I believe.
Oh, no. Who'd that be?
That'd be Michael.
Oh, happy B-Day, Mike.
Mike's birthday. I know he told me something about it on TikTok today when I was trying to summon Satan on my smoker.
Oh, bro.
So,
yeah.
So what had happened was of course, I know a bunch of people in town, know a lot of people. Oh, his birthday's tomorrow. Your birthday. Well, it's today in Australia.
Yeah, so we're just early.
So we're just early. We're on ducky time.
Yeah, we're on ducky time.
We're on ducky time. So what had happened was I have some friends, they own a food truck, Smoking Hot Catering, and it's one of those I do barbecue, they do barbecue, I cater, they cater. We're real, it's competition, but it's friendly. Veteran family. He's an Army guy. His wife is awesome. I mainly talk to her because he's busy and she runs the truck during the day. But they have a beast, big giant orange, like 30+ foot trailer with a smoker on the back.
Apparently, either Shelly or Richie has a birthday they're enjoying also.
Really?
Yeah. Ah, thanks, Donovan.
Happy. If you guys wonder if you ever see me on Facebook and I send someone a happy birthday thing, I always say happy. That's a throwback from Duck Dynasty and the dad, because he always says happy. And I kind of just took, and that literally years ago, just took my whole birthday greeting to say happy. And so that's where that comes from. But anyway, we're in there talking about the food truck, getting the food truck and, business. And because I've never run a food truck, I've never run a kitchen. I've cooked for catering, but I've never cooked a la carte, like on the fly. Well, no, I actually have cooked on the fly, but not for that many people that could potentially come through. Like I've done it at home, when I just have the smoker rolling. When I lived in Oklahoma, I would literally turn on my smoker and just have food prepped. And when people would come over, throw a burger on, throw this on, throw that on. I've done it here too, but I've never done it for this many people. So I picked the brains of the people out there to let me. But anyway, while I was there, they did a order for vegan nachos, and I'm like, what? Like, what did you just? Like, I didn't hear you. And she said, jackfruit nachos. I'm like, what was jackfruit nachos? And so she pulls out this metal pan, and she took the aluminum off of it, and it says jackfruit on it, and opens it up, and it looks like.
Yeah, be honest.
It looks like smoked chicken or smoked pork. It literally did. It looked like pulled pork, or it made me look like chopped up chicken because it was kind of pinkish and stuff like that and whatnot. And I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, we have a thing on our menu for vegetarians and vegans. It's really popular. And you start thinking about it, you're like, that's smart. And she sees me doing my wheels turning, and she's talking to me about the jackfruit, and she does it canned. You can get it whole and the missteps and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I think it's something I might want to try. And that's just one of those things, like you're talking about hobbies. This is my thing. I like to experiment with foods. So, and also it's another revenue stream. It's a clientele that never really gets catered to in the barbecue world.
True.
Not truly catered to. Like there's probably some people out there, and I'm going to be one of those people that will have a menu option on my menu for vegetarians and vegans. I'll have one or two things, but it's one of those things. I want to invite you to the barbecue. Come to the party. I'll have something for you. Pulled pork Frio pie when we went down.
Yeah.
To baby Jesus. Yes, those are good.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. So I tried it, and it kind of tasted the consistency of artichoke hearts. I was like, oh, that's not too bad. It doesn't really have a taste.
Yeah.
It just a consistency. And I was like, man, you put some sauce on there, it'd be amazing. The only thing is my sauce isn't vegan friendly or vegetarian, but my seasonings are. So I went to the local like health food style store called Bread Root, and I picked up 2 cans of jackfruit, 1 bag or whatever you want to call it, bag box of extra firm tofu.
Yeah.
And I picked up some Italian plant-based sausage, and also picked up some soy riso, which is soy-based chorizo.
Yeah, that was a good play on words. I like that one, I'll admit.
Yeah, and so I pulled the jackfruit out, cleaned it off, because it comes in a mixture to keep it, fresh. It's salt, like lime juice and some other stuff. And I'm like, I don't want all that. So wash it off like you wash rice, soaked it in water while I got the smoker rolling, and I pull out my pan. I usually do little meatloafs in or turkey thighs. And I put 1 portion in. I'm making a video on this. So I still have to work on it. And I did mild mustard spicy and coffee seasoning. And then I did the tofu, cut it up, put it in the other side of that tray, put it on the smoker, I actually pan fried that Italian sausage in olive oil, and I'm not gonna lie, it was actually really fucking good. Like I was very, hey Sarah, how you doing? You
Hey.
know, it was actually really good. I was very surprised. Like the look was kind of like me. Didn't really look like it. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of something that came out of MRE.
Yeah.
Straight up,
Yeah.
straight up. It reminded me of something that came out of an MRE. I was like, but then I pan fried it in olive oil, and I tried it by itself. It was kind of spicy because they add some spices to it, so it's not too bad. So it kind of masks whatever they use as the protein substitute. But so I took the other three sausages and I put them on the smoker, tried it. It wasn't bad. Like if you smoke it, then pan fry it, I can actually see taking some of that jackfruit and Italian vegan plant-based sausage, putting it in a gumbo or a jambalaya, or not jambalaya, a gumbo or a stew.
Oh yeah.
Because once you have a sauce, a
Yep.
flavored sauce, it helps because all you're doing is replacing proteins. That's
Yeah.
the plant-based thing. And so that's all they're looking for. And then I talked to one of the ladies that worked at the store, and there's a not even an underground movement or whatever, but there's people and events out there that like 90% of the people are plant-based folks or vegan and vegetarian. And she goes, you will clean up. And the cool thing about it, it's not cool, but that stuff is not cheap, but the people pay the difference.
Oh yeah. People, yeah, vegans and that they're used to paying for,
Yeah, so if you normally
Yeah.
sell a thing of nachos for, tofu. No, it didn't soften. The tofu softened up on you. No, it actually. I have a video. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have the full thing where I can. Let me see if I can send it in.
Well, didn't you
But
do tofu one time before? I thought.
no, I never did. I have never messed with tofu. I've cooked it, or I mean, I've eaten it
Yeah.
at an event, or when I was in Korea and when I was in Oklahoma at a really nice Korean restaurant. But I've never made tofu myself.
Okay.
But one of the cool things is the tofu actually firmed up in that pan. When I pulled it out, it was a lot stiffer than it was before. I want to.
I gotta say it. That's what she said.
For it. Yeah, I got a couple vidjas coming in. And I wanted Webb on here because I was doing a dive through my Facebook, and I found some videos of when me and him actually hung out and got to smoke that hog for the squadron. That was
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was a pretty cool little find on the. I'm looking for vidjas.
See, I've had
Sending myself a bunch of
tofu.
videos.
I've had tofu and other vegetarian vegan meals and dishes, and it's not bad if it's done right. It's the people that are like, oh, you just need to slice the tofu, grill it or fry it, and that's it. And it's like, no, that's like worse than eating liver. It's bland.
Yeah, no.
You
need to do more. You need to do a little more than that, because even when I try it by itself, it doesn't have a taste. So people can't get over the texture portion,
right,
of that meat.
But like I said, I've had people that have fried it and they like it's almost like a spam,
and
to
the
a
place
point.
that I've eaten it, the restaurant that I've eaten it at, it was actually like it was kind of like eggs. I think they cut it in slivers, like little 2-inch slices, and then they fried it and they added I believe like soy sauce to it and maybe something else because they had a little bit like a yellow hue, probably soy sauce.
Yeah.
And it seriously was not bad. I have to admit.
Yeah, well, and like you being in Korea, when you're there, you try the local cuisine, and a few times I've had it, and it was like, this isn't bad. No, that sucked. Do it this way, not that way. Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm seeing if my things are downloading. But no, like I said, let me move these. I have like an array of hands in front of like if the cops ever kicked the door in right now and I'm sitting here with all these hands, they'd be like,
You could just go like, oh no.
Alpha 1, back out.
Yeah. You could do the whole Macaulay Coughlin. Oh no.
Oh, Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna see if these will upload. But while they do that thing, they do. Yeah. So, oh, look at that. This is this is my drive, which will probably get us in trouble on Facebook because it has audio in it, like music. But this is my drive home after only being in town for 2 hours and having pretty much just wet roads.
Yeah.
So that's how shitty those roads are. Like
I've seen a few weather reports from the Sodak area out by you and stuff. Yeah,
it's been bad. They knew it was coming. They thought it was going to come yesterday, but you know, we do what we do. It's what it is. And it'll be gone here probably in a week or so because it'll warm up a bit and go away, and then I'll be able to get the last couple miles I need to get on my bike for the year.
Oh yeah, because you guys get indigenous people summer like we do here. You know, we'll get cold and then it'll warm up again and then it gets cold again. I don't know what to call it now anymore, man. You know, you know, what do you call? Everything's changing now.
Indigenous people summer. Oh, I was like, what?
You know, everything changed.
That. Well, just like everything else, Gruden, Coach Gruden got fired. Now, mind you, I know what you said when we talked about it. What do you guys think? If you guys watch the NFL, I still watch the NFL. I'm going to watch the NFL till the day I die. For the simple reason is because my grandmother, that was my connection with her growing up as like before I can even remember anything. My first memory is a football game. So I'll watch it. But I heard some extra stuff that he said, and I guess there was some extra stuff that was in those emails, like naked photos of some of the cheerleaders or something like that.
Well, and I hadn't heard that part, but I heard like he wasn't just, it wasn't like he was just doing a racist rant. He was doing racist, sexist, homophobic, misogynistic. But that was 10 years ago when he wasn't even with the NFL or any football team at the time.
No, it was, and it's an attack, and it's just one of those things. Like, it's weird. Like, cancel culture is weird. Like, I could personally give a shit, you know.
Oh yeah, I don't.
But it's like the dude is not a homeroom teacher. He's not teaching children. He's coaching grown-ass violent men to hit other grown-ass violent men hard and get them to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, it's just it's kind of bigger than that because, like, if they can come after him or Chappelle, or what's stopping them from coming after any of us? I mean, I've said
John Gruden. That's his name, right?
Yeah, John Gruden, coach. Yeah, he was a Tampa Bay coach. His nickname's Chucky because he kind of looks like the Chucky doll.
He kind of looks like the Chucky doll.
Yeah.
And he, you know, had some sus emails come up. Pretty much probably someone that he, you know, pissed off or something.
Well, here's what's funny. You know where this whole investigation or email thing started?
Where?
They were investigating the Washington football team because we can't call them the indigenous name anymore. They were investigating the Washington football team. And out of that 9,500 pages of emails, his came up. So this ain't over yet. There's going to be a lot of other people that names are going to come up in these emails. Now, here's my thing. We can find 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 9,500 pages of emails in the NFL, but we can't find Hillary Clinton's emails.
So who's this Hillary you speak of? Interesting. Interesting. Yes, the Redskins. Yes, the Washington Redskins. They're not the Washington Football Club. You can cancel them if you want to.
Okay,
They
like
were
this whole
honored.
cancel
Oh,
culture.
no. This is my thing. So I ride an Indian motorcycle. So, how is that okay? But the Washington Redskins isn't okay because the name was given to them by a native person. It was honored. It was one of those things. Sigh, God will.
Oh, I think I cursed a minute too much. I don't know.
Okay. But so, they're going after him. I don't really care, neither here or there. It's whatever. But, it's that whole thing. Like, there was a guy who I started following on TikTok because he actually, like, chastised the LGBTQ community for being so just dismissive and heavy-handed, pun intended, about how they just go after people and they have no recourse and they have no, like, it's just like they can just point the gun at someone, pull a trigger, and no one can come back at them and be like, wrong on you, shame on you. Like you literally have this blank. And you know what's funny? They did that with Black people. And I don't really want this to get political or social, but there was a point in time where, like, it was funny because they made jokes about it in movies. You remember the movie The Animal with Adam Sandler's friend? He was it was a movie it was an Adam Sandler movie. It's called The Animal. I can't think of the actor's name, but he's the guy in 51st Dates that was the Hawaiian dude with the kids that like beat him. I'll have to pull his name up.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
Anyway, in this movie, The Animal, this Black dude in the movie could do anything he wanted. Like, he could literally, he was like at the airport. He worked at the airport as security, and he was standing next to a no smoking sign, smoking, and people would be like, no, oh, and they're like, he'd be like, he was doing it on purpose to get him to check him, and no one would check him. And he's like, he was calling it out like, this is kind of bullshit. Like, you should check me. And even in the end of the movie, when like, because in the movie, Rob Schneider is the guy.
Thank you, Mike.
Rob Schneider.
Audie, my bad.
Turned into a monster, like a wolf or something, like the animal. He turned into an animal, and he was killing people or hurting people. Anyway, the mob comes and they're pitchforks and torches. And the Black dude, like at the part of the movie that emphasized how dumb shit was, he was like, "Oh, it wasn't him, it was me," and everyone was like, "Oh, okay, well, okay, it was you, all right." And they just kind of like was like, "Okay," and he was like, "No," he's like, "No, like that's not right."
That kid that shot 4 people in Texas, right?
Yeah,
released on bail the next day. They had a GoFundMe for a while for a lawyer that they got pulled down.
Yeah, because he didn't need a lawyer because his family is rich.
Who shoots 4 people and gets out on bail the next freaking day?
A privileged kid. He had privilege. Like, one kid showed it. One guy showed it. He showed the school the kid went to. He went to a very well school. He showed his social media where he was flexing, driving a Charger. And then he wanted to be, quote unquote, hood. So he was doing a bunch of shit to be hood, and no one like, and that's where this one guy was on there. He goes, where's his goat? Like, where's all the people that's supposed to come out and be, about social justice and this and that, about it. And it's just kind of just,
well, like for me, it's
nowadays things are so crazy. That's why I just do food.
It's the hypocrisy of it all. It's the hypocrisy of it all. It's like
insanity. It's insane.
If you're this type of person, or if you're this social class, you can get away with anything. But if you're this or this, oh, sorry, too bad for you.
Yeah,
and it sucks.
And it does suck. And it's kind of funny because I'm not gonna lie, on this show, I use that privilege that I have to say what the hell I want, because it's like, come at me. What are you gonna do? You gonna cancel me? I just like the privilege.
Oh, exactly. And yeah, there's cases of it. You can look up and down the board, young, old, male, female, that just because they're a certain class or a certain gender, they get away with it.
Yeah, you know, and we shouldn't. Everyone's the same. Well, not everyone's the same. I'm sorry. You know, The Rock is like
Everyone should be treated the same.
Everyone should be treated the same, no matter what.
If it's against the law to shoot people with a gun, it should be against the law to shoot people with a gun for everyone, not just for us poor middle class people, but you rich people, you know.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. I actually listened to a podcast. I listened to this Jocko Willink podcast today, and he talked about a guy that Marines would know. I don't remember his name personally, but he wrote a book called War's a Racket. You guys need to write that down, because this is a decorated war hero who was in wars since before World War One. He was in like the Spanish American. He was in a couple conflicts, and he wasn't a perfect soldier. He was a perfect Marine, and he was in the Marine Corps back in the day where you can get in and out really quick. And he made it up to Brigadier General.
Nice.
Yeah, Major General. Yeah.
Be my little general. I still remember it that way too, bro.
Be Brigadier, my Major. So he made it to Major General. Okay, let's talk about that. Military ranks. I know we made them up, but why is Major under Lieutenant?
I think they took a lot of it from the Prussian army back in the day. My dad was a drill instructor, so he told me all about Baron von Steuben and how we took ARs and all of this and modeled it after the Prussian army. And
no, I totally understand that, but it's like in our rank structure: lieutenant, second grade, second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, colonel, general. But then when you get to general, it's general, major general, lieutenant general.
Yeah. You think that would be the lower ranking one?
You would think it'd be general, lieutenant general, major general, then general. I was like, I don't know. It took me a while to get out of the matrix to kind of go,
Right.
Sarah has a good, You have a good point.
Well, and the one that still cracks me up is listening to the Brits. They don't say lieutenant, they say lieutenant.
Well, no, it's not it's lieutenant.
Lieutenant, yeah. They put an F in there somewhere, and it's
no, it's actually the proper. So in America, when things get Englished, Americanized, like the word aluminum, it's actually aluminium. It was actually translated improperly during World War World War II, I believe.
Right.
When they were trying to translate the specs it was like read wrong, because they transport the specs of how to make it and this and that and blah, blah, blah.
The first time I heard aluminium was like a junior high class film where it's like, we had the old reel to reel and it was going from, through and all of that. The guy it was a BBC science show, and he was like, and on aluminium, and we're all looking at each other in class like, the fuck, they find another element? Aluminium.
Tackle Fishing 22. Edward Anderson on here being big baller. Edward's Tackle Fishing 22 just got married.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
Guy on TikTok. Pretty awesome individual who came out and wanted to go out. He's a guy out there who is a gay dude who wanted to go fishing with straight people because he couldn't find anybody to fish with that was gay. Really a touching story, really amazing guy. And he wanted to go fishing, and people reached out and went fishing with him. And It was one of those things. Like, I saw him, I knew Edward. I had nothing to do with this whole thing. I just saw it. I got to watch it happen. And, just seeing that happen is kind of cool, because I don't know the other individual I met. I've talked to Edward, for Tackle 22 Fishing. And it's really cool that his organization is growing that way and has that guy in there, because I'm not gonna lie, he seems like, I'm not even gonna say it seems, he's a good dude,
Oh, and they're doing big things down there with the Tackle 22, man. I mean, I watch him on Facebook and the lives that he does on TikTok sometimes. Yeah, they're doing some awesome stuff down there.
Yeah, and it was one of those things, because the guy did the video, and I'm sorry I can't remember his name. Edward, if you would pop it up in the chat, I would say his name properly. But he goes, I'm getting married, and he gets a wedding ring in the mail. And he pulls it out, and I'm thinking, because he's like, I've never been in a relationship ever, and this and that. I'm thinking, this is very weird. Like he's talking about being Brian. Yeah, dude Brian Wilson. Yeah, dude has a huge heart. If you guys have a TikTok account, find Brian Wilson. You will not be able. First of all, I'm gonna preface this. If you don't have any tissues around, get some, because some of his stuff he posts will make you cry, because it's very touching, it's honest, it's genuine. But like I'm watching this video, and he's sitting there and he's talking about he never been in a relationship and this and that, and he's getting married or got married, and you're like, wait a minute, how? And then you pull out a ring in a bag, and I'm like, all right, that's kind of weird. I didn't know, like, whatever. I guess that's what you do. It's like, hey, happy. And then he talked about he got married to Tackle 22 Fishing, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, I thought Edward had a girlfriend. I'm like, but you know what? Hey, if my boy Edward, hey, whatever you got to do, bro. Love you. And then I got it when he put the paperwork up and stuff. I was like, oh, I was pretty confused for a couple seconds. I was like,
Them hands are kind of addictive, aren't they, bro?
Yeah. No, I know he married an organization. I get that. Like, but
right,
in the video, yeah. You're watching it.
$20, $20, Ed.
$20, bro.
Well, I gotta say it. Those hands make everything look bigger, Felix. Gotcha, bro. Hey, wait! I got one of those.
You're lucky I didn't swallow. I'm gonna not even talk. yeah, exactly. Anyway,
what happened was
I think the videos have finally uploaded.
So, I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'll be right back.
Plant-based stuff I was cooking. So on that, and then
you don't have to be quiet.
Oh, I can't really play those. There's extra. I'm muted. There we go. I'm unmuted. Sorry. So pretty much in this video, I'm trying each jackfruit, and all the way up to the tofu. Each one I had to go grab a palate cleanser, and there we go. Sorry. I thought you were talking about the video. Can you hear me now? Meow. But I'm just trying it out. like I said, it retained the smoky. I used oak. I used the oak that I split, and I was like, yes, no, halfway, maybe. It's definitely not a no, but I think if you put this into food, like if you mixed it into a chili, a bean recipe, you mix it in with some rice or something, it would go good as a protein substitute to give you that consistency in it, and then it would add the smoky flavor to the food. So there's a lot of potential for the jackfruit. The tofu also, it actually. Let me see. Did I? I don't think I probably deleted it. Did I delete it? Or is it the same video? The tofu on the video, I actually sat there with the fork and I flicked it, and it actually had some spring to it. So when I first put the tofu in the pan, it was very like gelatinous and wanted to break apart. But after I let it, after I let it smoke, the pan actually, all the water got sucked, the fluid got sucked out into the pan. So I had about 1/8 of an inch of water or whatever, soybean juice, whatever you would call this, like the smoking. Anyway, in the bottom of the tray, and it actually. But yeah, so I'm gonna figure it out. I can probably, when I get the food truck, I'll be able to make my sauce for the food truck without Worcestershire,
Oh, that'll be cool.
and that will make it vegan vegetarian. So I will just on the food truck, I can take it out for that. I thought about doing it, but I don't have enough right now. I don't have enough clientele that are vegan vegetarian. But I think it'll be like a cyclical thing where
Oh yeah,
I'll get the food truck, get people in, have them try my food with the sauce and seasonings on it, because the seasoning is already vegan vegetarian.
night, Audie.
Night, Audie. Yes, tofu texture is whack. So the thing is, if you cook it enough, like smoking it makes it more stiff. I put it in a container. Oh yeah. Anyway, I forgot who I'm talking with.
Boom! You just set yourself up for that one. I
totally did. So I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna take it out of the. I put it in the fridge. I just mix them together because it's whatever. It's administrative at this point. So I'm gonna slice it into sections and then try to pan fry it in some olive oil and see how that does, and maybe some Worcestershire. No, some soy sauce.
What's that other thing that is Asian food?
Your
fish sauce, fish oil,
wording.
fish sauce.
Fish sauce. I can't use fish sauce. Vegan, vegetarian.
And it wouldn't be vegan, yeah. Well, it depends on the vegan you talk to. Some can eat fish.
That's a pescatarian.
I thought it was a Catholic.
No, that's a pescatarian. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna attempt. Nope. Wait. Yes, I can drink.
Yeah, you're gonna have way too much fun with those, bro.
You're kitty.
I tried to pet Rupert. He clawed me and pulled it right off of my finger. He was like, "Get that shit away from me."
Some vegetarians eat chicken. You know what I call them? Non-vegetarians. I call them people that eat chicken and a lot of vegetables.
Yeah. Well, and then there's some vegans that don't eat chicken, but they'll eat eggs. And I'm like, what's the difference? One's in liquid form, one's in meat form.
True. So other than that, unfortunately, my internet, I had very small videos to upload, but I couldn't because, like I said, my internet is being really shady, especially with the weather. These things, I put them in too far, so I hit bottom. So I'm used to doing that. They're kind of tight.
Oh my.
Yeah, this is saying vegan people, like you can't be calling yourself a vegan and be eating fish. I should be able to go and find the people that are calling themselves vegan and eating animals and then smack them with said animal.
Yeah.
I need one more day for my thumb. This is just knife hand.
Hey, sorry, bro. I had to keep one of the pair.
Otherwise, you have one pair of black hands, sir.
Otherwise, you'd have gotten 5, one for each finger. But I had to keep just,
Interesting. I'm gonna freak the shit out of my dogs tonight. They're probably gonna try to bite me.
They're gonna look at you and bite your tiny fingers.
That's the only thing small, she said. Anyway, no, I'm just really not looking forward to plowing way later on tonight. Whoo, man.
Well, and that's like here in Iowa, we get snow and stuff. And I used to hate my dad because like 2 a.m. it would stop snowing and we're out there shoveling a corner, sidewalk, and driveway.
Well, because you think about it now, like I did that in Maryland when I was a kid, and my dad, my dad told me why. He said, because if you let it sit, it's worse in the morning.
See, my dad never said that. He was a drill instructor. He
my
was
dad
like,
my dad was intel in the Navy, so he was very.
My dad was like, because I told you to do it, go out there and shovel the freaking sidewalk. Okay, Dad,
So tell me about your faja. We're getting into Freudian. Oh my goodness, I haven't been in something this tight in a while.
Oh my.
No, but things are going good. So I did the videos you guys saw.
Every time, Mike. Yeah, as soon as you get done plowing your driveway or shoveling it, then the street department comes by and blocks it all back in again.
So I actually saw a video. I don't know what it was in America. The plow has a little attachment. So the street plow comes through and they put down this panel. So as they go by your driveway, it doesn't push the snow into your driveway. So as they're going down, pushing the snow off to the side, they literally put down this piece that probably maybe a foot or two high and 4 feet long, and it comes down. It's sitting, and when I saw it, it was very hard. You probably can pull it up better than I can with your internet, but it was a street plow that blocked the driveway for you, so you didn't have to worry about them plowing you in.
Yeah, my luck, that's in like the higher tax bracket area than I'm in. They just they don't give two shits. Yeah, Mike, I knew people that lived on a level B maintenance road that they'd only plow down about 1 block. And they were literally like a half a block away from my friend's driveway, and they wouldn't go any further. They were like, nope, we just go down, flip, come back. The rest is up to you. Level B gravel road out in the country.
See if I can pull it up.
Luckily, I got a guy with the snowblower. It takes him longer to get his snowblower off his trailer than it does to plow my little 50-foot sidewalk.
Yeah, I have a buddy who does that. He calls the big red beast. And he literally looks for people because he loves doing it to come and I just remember when I was an airman in Minot, we had street plow to avoid blocking driveways. No, that can't be it. That's a freaking grader. Nope, I'm not gonna be able to open it up. But yeah, I'd be on a flight line and they have the big snow blowers with the crane that shoots the snow like freaking 50 feet in the air as they're going full bore down the flight line.
Yeah.
And so you would watch those and they'd be driving and it'd be like white and it'd be like red. And I'm like, what was that? My buddy goes, snow bunnies. I'm like, what? Snow rabbits they just hunker down and think you can't see them.
Yeah.
And they hear something and they just don't run. And those plows would go through and those rabbits think, okay, cool, I'm in 2-3 feet of snow. Well, that plow that head on it is five 5 feet, 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
And it would just literally come through and chew up everything and just spit it out. And you would watch foxes and rabbits and stuff get shot out of it.
Oh yeah.
But one of my buddies, he was actually AR, which is aircraft. I don't know what it is called in the Army, Air Corps, or Navy, but they're the guys that take the flight controls, and they actually, when you take a flight control off of an airplane, they put the flight control back on the airplane because it has to be weight and balanced, and you can't just like when you give me a flap and I fix it, you know, you can't just throw that back on the plane because whatever I did is going to add some weight to it. So they have to. It's like getting your tires rotated and balanced.
Right. Yeah.
So you actually aircrafts, their flight controls get weight and balanced. So AR in the Air Force, that's who does it. I can't remember what the R stands for, but it's like aircraft something. Anyway, he did that job and he wanted to get out of it, which I told him he was dumb to do. He wanted to get into CE, which I'm like, okay, cool. That's better. You can get a job, you know, doing heavy equipment, whatever you get out. And I'm like, but you want to make sure you send and we were still airmen and I knew this shit. I'm like, you need to take your family and send them home. Like send them back to New Jersey or wherever you're from and don't leave them here at Minot. He goes, oh, it'll be fine. I'll go to school. And then, you know, when it comes around, I'll come out and then we'll move. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
No shit, dude. I told him, see you next winter. Well, that fucker became CE. They did not move his family. He got sent right back to Minot. And my third or fourth day during that winter when he came back, I could not see the front of my house for probably 2 weeks because he plowed the whole neighborhood with a front end loader and dumped all the snow he could on my front of my house and my driveway.
Nice.
Like I had to make out of my top of my house. And it was one of those things like, oh, people like, oh, must be a really big snowdrift. I'm like, this does not look like a snowdrift. But like I had to slide out and then dig my car out. And it was so, and I knew, and he was like, talk shit. I'm like, I wasn't talking shit. I was trying to help you out.
Yeah.
You know, he got mad at me. I'm like, you need to go dump that shit on the Air Force's freaking lawn.
Yeah. I remember one time, like out at Carson, we had a blizzard so bad that they made the engineer guys with the bulldozers. We had to go plow with bulldozers on the street because the street department that Carson had couldn't keep up. And we're out there, you know, and these are just like bare bones dozers, no closed in, no heaters, no windows, freezing, driving a freaking dozer, you know.
Yeah. In Minot, it got so bad. I don't know if they still do this, but they did it once. We had a hangar, one of the old hangars for tankers that were full of Bobcats, literally from one end to the other. It was nothing but like this base, like Bobcat made a lot of money on Minot.
I bet.
And you'd get this pink card, rectangular laminated card. And before they knew the big snowstorm was coming, so they would call people in and you can get voluntold to be on snow removal duty. And so you get a Bobcat. You literally drove that Bobcat home that night. You can have your wife or whoever, you can like go drive your car home and the shop will come pick you up. So I went home, shop picked me up. I drove the Bobcat home and had it in my driveway. And literally, when you wake up that morning, the only thing, because there was like, we had that big snowstorm, you had feet of snow, so everything was delayed. No one was out on base except for CE, snow removal. And then you'd see like, it was kind of one of those like Tim Burton, where all you saw through the neighborhoods were Bobcats.
Yeah.
And you can plow out your driveway and you can plow to work. That was all you were allowed to plow. So you would, and they, you know, gave you instructions like you would drive out into the center of the road and you would just plow the center, like to get to work. You would drive that Bobcat. And so you would literally have trains of Bobcats driving through, you know, to get to work. And once you got to work, you were charged to plow out the squadron building, the parking lot. You went from the parking lot, you know, and then there were people that were charged to plow the flight line, plow around the aircraft, you know, and stuff like that. And all that stuff would be getting done because you couldn't have CE plowing around billion-dollar airplanes.
Right.
So it was kind of cool. You know, you have a little pink card and you had to have the pink card. which now that I think about it, having the Bobcat should be proof enough that you are authorized to be out. This little, it's like, oh, I had my own private Bobcat, so I was.
Yeah, right.
But I think having the pink card, because it was issued by the squadron, and they had a number of them. So if anything happened, they can be like, this person belongs to this place.
Or this Bobcat or this, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got sent out on I-25 right off of Fort Carson one time. They had a bad blizzard, and we had to take Hemmets and Humvees up and down, rescue people that had gotten stranded in this thing, dude. It was stupid. We were having a blast. We were just out driving 5 tons in Hemmets and Humvees, 3 foot of snow. Whee!
Top of the hour.
Roll that beautiful beard footage.
Bam! How you guys doing? This is the Sauce Boss, aka the American, aka Felix, aka Tiny Hands. Tiny Hands. How you doing? Buy some barbecue sauce. I need you to buy barbecue sauce. But like you guys know, we're still trucking along. Food truck, like I said, we talked about a little bit earlier. 4 to 6 weeks out more. So those plans have changed and more will come. If you're on my TikTok, you'll literally get the dish like when I get it, because I tell those people everything, damn near everything. But we have been fully restocked by Mark. We are full up on all our sauce and seasonings. Unfortunately, not yet on our sample packs. But why get a sample when you know it's great? You can get on there, get on our website, beardbarbecuesauce.com. Promo codes, if you have them, if you know them, use them. I got it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Get on there, because one of the biggest things is I don't do this really for Facebook to push my product. I do it for my little hour, but the things that happen on here, I do it because of our community. The reason I'm doing the things in my company is for our community. I've learned a lot by being a small business owner, and it's showed me a lot of things that I want to do by either hiring veterans, giving people that ability to get out on their own and try something new, and just showing them that, hey, guess what? It can be done whatever you want to do. You don't have to be slinging barbecue sauce and seasonings. That right there is I Got Your Six program from Sacred Mountain. You can get on there and donate. That helps put a veteran, first responder, or some like a person like that through the program. It all matters. Everything is connected. We have stickers, patches. Get on there and support, because the sauce that you love supports the shows that you love. And I want to support more. I want to do more, and the more that we do, the more we can do. I do like to announce that he's not on here, but a guy for TikTok. He's actually one of the individuals that bought a whole case of Sacred Mountain sauce at $15 a jar.
That was awesome.
Yeah, Roger. He's a welder out in Missouri, or Kansas. I think it's Missouri. But cool guy. He is the first barbecue sauce ambassador, like actual technical ambassador. Dave is, an ambassador. Just Dave is Dave.
Yeah.
Dave is fam. Dave is Dave. But
oops, wrong side.
Yeah, Uncle Side's Uncle Side. But his shirt says "Big Sexy Barbecue." His daughter is amazing. He got her a TikTok. He does videos with her on cooking. She got all good grades, so he bought her an awesome Weber kettle grill. And I saw that, and it was just is in me. I sent her a care package of products just to try out.
That was
nothing on it. It was just that fostering the next generation of barbecuers. There's a big disconnect, which is kind of odd in the sauce and seasoning world, and just in the barbecue world in general, that women can't barbecue. And I'm like, first of all, not every mother cooked, but 90% of the mothers on the planet cooked. The first cooks on the planet were women, because men were out hunting. We burn meat while we're out hunting, but an actual cook was always women. Men became chefs because we had that ability to go out and away from the home and follow our dreams, where the women were back taking care of kids. So yes, there's way more men chefs than women chefs, But I have met a lot of women, not any personally, but that can cook way better than me. The classically trained ones, that is. I'll challenge any of you women to come cook. No, but no, seriously. And it's just one of those things. Like I see a lot of people on TikTok and social media that are females at barbecue, and they get a lot of hate, which I don't really understand. Which is really dumb.
It's cool with Roger's kid, Weber Princess. She really enjoys it. You can tell by how she's doing it, you know?
Yeah, she really enjoys it. And so I want to like foster that. I want to promote it. I want to support it. I want it to get out there because, you know, I don't want her to, you know, I want her to be strong enough that when she runs into those haters, she has enough positive reinforcement from her dad, from the community, that she can be like.
And what I thought was funny was when he was filming her doing your unboxing, she pulls out the hat and the t-shirt, and he's like, your dad ain't even got one of those. What the heck? You know?
That is true. That is true. I don't have one. I don't have any in those shirts in big, sexy sizes. But no, it's one of those things, like, it's more to me. It's more than a company to me.
Yeah.
It's a calling. It's one of those things that I always wanted to do. So I do appreciate all the people that do get on there and buy products. There is a lot of, I don't even know what you call it. Like it's more than just a barbecue sauce to me. When people tell me they'll do something, I kind of hold them to the fire on it. And it matters because all of it matters. Because I'm not, like I said, I'm not just doing this to make money. Because trust me, if I wanted to make money, I would take my degree and what I learned in the military and go to any coast and make upwards of higher six figures to seven figures easy with the degree I have, the knowledge I have, and a lot of other stuff.
Like me and Master of None Artistry, we were talking the other day, and she was like, I know if I share. She was like, I know if I share something, you're going to be like the second or third person to reshare it. And I'm like, because I just love seeing people happy. And if it's something that's cool, like with you with making awesome sauce, or her with making awesome art, or Spicy Crouton making awesome art, I'm going to share the crap out of that because that's so cool and it makes you happy. And it's good stuff. I mean, that coffee, like I said, bro, I got a strawberry shake from Burger King the other night, came home, sprinkled a little bit of that coffee seasoning on it. Dude, unfreaking believable. That coffee seasoning is almost my favorite now. I still love the mustard, but that coffee's really close.
No problem, Mike. We'll be here. I don't see how you hate outside. Oh, I'm like backwards because my tiny hands don't really work the mouse properly. But that's all my spiel on barbecuesauce.com. You guys know where the website's at. Get on it, buy some product, do what it do. Because truly, right now, I need to sell a lot more sauce just because the food truck's not going to be here to take over the burden of the food truck. So, I'm paying for it before I even have it now. Like, it's to that point where I'm just like, it's funny because we got the money for it and I'm really cool. Like, okay, cool. I've been selling a lot, almost paid for it on our own. Got the bank account where we can drop that check when they call. And then it's like, all right, cool, let's get it. You know, because I was kind of floating on getting the truck, then getting that revenue from the truck to help pay for the truck. And it's just kind of like, let's stretch that out a little bit. And I'm like,
right. Yeah.
I'm going to be on video call for the company and be like, look, do you see?
I think we have to change these from small hands to just, we'll start calling them jade hands.
Hey, have you guys seen Jade? Does she have her hands? Well, I think her hands would be kind of in between these two hands. A little like mix of vanilla and mocha. She might not speak Spanish, but
she looks it.
Get her on a roof, she'll prove it. Joking.
We kid, we love.
Oh, yeah, my phone is being really weird. I don't get a lot of my messages lately. Oddness, weirdness.
My Facebook on my phone's been really weird. It's like just now somebody posted, then I go to look at it and it says 12 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? So, I turn it off, on, update it.
So I had had my big black cock on TikTok, one of my lives. And I was live with TJ and I can't think of her name, but she does quilting, like, one of the quilting pros. She makes like animals and whatnot.
Oh yeah, and the one that's crocheting the dragon. Yeah.
Crocheting the dragon.
Yeah.
And I was like, you should crochet these, but not as big as this, but you should crochet these. And I was telling her the story. And it was funny because I said, you should crochet my big black cock.
Yeah.
And I'm holding it and I'm like, yeah, you should crochet the big black cock. And after they got off live, I was still live for a little bit. And my comments and my DMs were like, did I hear you say you should crochet your big, they should crochet your big, and you go, they didn't even blink an eye when you said it. And I'm like, because you not see the
big black cock
in my hand. And I wasn't even holding like this. I was holding like this so you could see that's a rooster.
Yeah.
So it was funny. I'm like, plus they're vets, and it would take a lot to shock us into like stopping a conversation that we're having to go, what?
Well, like I put up in our group chat something for Jen to crochet. They were pan holders, so you don't burn your hand.
Oh yeah.
And like they looked a little phallic, and without blinking, she's like, "Oh, those would be great for a bridal shower." We're like most civilians would look at that and go, "Excuse me," Not all. There's some cool silly villains out there. I'm going to steal your word. Silly villains.
Yeah, silly villains.
So there's some cool ones, but there's a lot of them that are like, I don't get you guys. And I'm like, yeah.
Dude, I just watched this video of this young lady who has a phone holder on her crotch rocket to hold her cup of coffee.
Wow.
Like, no shit.
Wow. And that's like a cup, not just like a styrofoam Starbucks cup.
Yeah, it has a lid because it has a straw in it, but she is straight up, and it's a tri-thing phone holder, and it holds a cup of coffee. She offers some to the guy. He's like, no.
I remember my uncle had a Honda Goldwing Aspencade 1200, and there were literally like 4 cup holders in the fairing.
Yeah.
And the back seat had armrests that came down like the 70s shaggin' wagon vans with the armrests.
Oh, dude, they still when TJ was here, he was looking at the Honda Goldwings.
Yeah.
And I sat on one, and I'm looking at these things, and I'm like, this is like a freaking like a van, like
it's
SUV.
They're unbelievable. This was back in the mid 80s. Me and my uncle went from Iowa up to Apple Valley, Wisconsin on a Goldwing tour. And I fell asleep on the back of the freaking motorcycle, bud. My uncle was elbowing me, like hitting me in the head, going, wake up, wake up. I'm like, what? Because it was just so smooth,
Yep. And now that I look at some of those, it's like, oh, I know how to ride now. And I see some of the people on there. I'm like, that would kind of be cool to own one for road trips. Like that'd be the road trip bike.
Oh, that's the road trip cruiser, dude. That's the Cadillac of motorcycles,
I when I was coming through, I was riding, like I said, I'm up to 2,468 miles. So whenever we get rid of all this cocaine outside, I'm gonna try to get those last few miles so I can go grab my 2,500 mile service. But I was up going through 385, and it goes past Lake Pactola, and there were some older people there, retired, riding around. And this one dude was like, yeah, he goes, I don't know. They have a friends of theirs that drive like a truck with a trailer or a van with a trailer, and 3 of them drive motorcycles. And the truck with the trailer and everything has all their shit in it, like all their luggage and clothes and whatnot and extra stuff. And it's almost like a marathon. They travel the United States with this 5 or 4-group, trio or 4-group people, quadruplets or whatever you want to call it, and quints, and 2 of them happen to not want to ride a motorcycle, so they drive the support vehicle.
Hey,
and they go everywhere everyone else goes. They drop trowel or drop the trailer somewhere, and this dude's just telling me this whole thing. He goes, yeah, he points over there, and I look in the parking lot, and there's this freaking red van, sitting there. Yeah, it was a red van sitting there, and I'm like, that's kind of freaking cool. He goes, yeah, they don't want to they don't want to ride a motorcycle, but they've been friends forever. I think they're from like Detroit, like these people were like, I talked to the dude for like almost an hour. He worked he was a manager at the, auto industry, blah, blah, and this and that. And yeah, so it was really cool talking to someone that's living that style of life. But I was sitting there seeing the comments. We're rolling kind of low. I know W is in here, and usually people are super excited to hear him babble on, but I'm actually pretty excited not to have to listen to him tonight. Just saying.
Bro. Speaking of
family's family.
You got to check out that new edition Last of Us Part 2.
Jade, we already did the slide earlier because guess what? We're on it. You know what? We'll do the slide again for you, Dave.
So we're Scram Jett you're currently listening to right now. You can watch us on Twitch at Vets Anon. You can watch us on YouTube at Veterans Anonymous or Facebook at Veterans Anonymous 22. Scram Jett is on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, is our own Combat Jade Cricket with me and maybe Kittens, depending on how her PCS move is. Maybe the American, depending on the weather up there, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And on Thursday nights is the 2 lovable Marines that come on at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, Full Metal Crayon Eaters. Yeah, they do a weekend safety brief, which is kind of an oxymoron, I guess. Marines giving a safety brief.
No, anyway. We don't say oxymoron anymore. We just say Marine.
Okay. But yeah, so you can reach out to us at veteransanonymous@gmail.com. Please go check out Kyle Killinger. He's doing something that's just mind-boggling to me. He's running across the country. Sober, yeah, which I can't even imagine. Yeah, sober. Ugh. But so yeah, go check him out on his Venmo because he's my brother. He still needs a couple of bucks just to make sure to finish it. So he's got water, clean shoes, and socks. Maybe every now and again get a hotel room so he can clean up and doesn't look like a total field Marine.
I think they like that. I don't think they really like being clean personally, but hook him up. He's doing something good for a good cause, bringing awareness to our community, and a lot of people think that, he's just bringing awareness, but a lot of the things that we do as veterans, especially when we do stuff like that, a lot of that stuff is for us also. Yeah. So as much as it is for him to run across, wherever he's running from point A to point B to raise awareness, it brings us back to that point that we're veterans. We have a need to serve our fellow man, especially once we get out, our fellow veterans. And that's a big thing for us.
Well, and
he's currently in his hometown, and I'm sure his son is over the moon.
Oh, yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That someone let him breed. I mean, that he gets to be with his kid.
Yeah.
No. I don't really get to talk to Kyle too much because I'm equally as busy as that young man is, but I do appreciate what he's doing and I understand it.
Like you said, he's bringing awareness to it, and that's part of the battle. The next part is actually doing something. It's like everybody know it's been pounded on the news even, 22 or more a day. Yeah. And so everybody is aware of it, but this just keeps it from falling out of awareness. And like now, like with Sacred Mountain, or with Tom taking people fishing, or Tackle 22 taking people fishing, that's the part that, okay, somebody sees this, they get in contact, and then we can send them somewhere.
TJ with the Ride of the Hella project,
Yeah.
where he's taking veterans out on 30-day motorcycle excursions,
Right.
Because it gets them out of their normal just rut.
Well, and okay, I'm going to say it. Us as veterans, we don't talk to silly villains as much as we do other veterans. And so when you've got a veteran and like you're out on a lake fishing, or you're up in the hills hiking, or you're on a motorcycle ride, you're going to open up a little more than sitting at a bar trying to talk to somebody that works 40 hours a week in an office.
What was what, Jade?
Oh, and by the way, I don't know, I just got both of my shirts in today. And check this out, bro. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah. All the sponsors.
My name's on there.
Bam.
Hell yeah. I've never had my name on a shirt like that, and it was a total surprise. He didn't even tell me nothing about it. He just showed the pictures. I was like, wait, my name's oh, that's freaking cool.
Oh, that I hit the button. I had a button by mistake. It's a picture that's in the background. I don't even know who that is. That is that Webb? I don't know. That might be Webb. It could be. I don't know. No, that can't. His hair is too long. But it was in here for some reason. I don't know. I'll let him discuss that. I don't even want to get into it. I
don't even want to know why you're having pictures like that, Felix.
That's not me. That's in the freaking thing over here. It's over here on the list on the screens. No, but yeah, no, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I don't ever want to go to battle against another veteran organization or people that think they're. And literally, I mean, I don't say they think they're doing good by, because you could say the phrase they think they're doing good in a certain way where you imply that they're not. What I mean is, I don't want to go to battle another veteran organization that literally think they're doing a good job, because everyone needs to be able to come at a problem in their own special way, and so, but saying that, I've always figured and thought that we have a lot of 501c3s. We have a lot of not-for-profits. I'm not saying, and that's the thing, if you want to do something and you need to make a not-for-profit, there's a reason for it. But I always thought that if we could get together, like the militaries, like we don't have 15 navies, like we have the Coast Guard. I still don't really get that one. But why is it a part of the Navy? Like, we have the Air Force. Why does everyone else have planes? But, they made the Air Force. They have the Army and Marines. Like, why do we have both of those guys? But they do kind of something a little bit different. We have that specialty, and we have the branches, but we don't have like 15 armies and 15 navies and 9 Air Forces. But we have like 15, not-for-profits that deal with that one issue, and that deal with that one issue, and that deal with that one issue, and deal with that one issue. Why don't we just have one big conglomeration organization where people on the outside, because I've been asked this question as a veteran, who do I donate to? And I'm like, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, but now I do. I tell you to donate to Sacred Mountain because it's something I've actually done. It's been bona fide with me, and it's no bullshit. I have 100% vetted. Like, if at the end of the day I become an asshole, I will own up and admit to I was bamboozled. But right now, guess what? I'm here. And the proof is in the pudding for me. So I realigned all my thinking of doing things, because before that, I was actually going to wrap my sauce with Mission 22 logo. But Mission 22 did me a favor by sending me a shit ton of paperwork. So I was able to use their logo to give them money to sell sauce. Guess what Sacred Mountain said? He goes, all right, cool. I'll email you the logos to use. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
I was like, that is what a company is supposed to do. If you were really like out there to help, and I get there's legal and blah, blah, blah reasons, but I just had a message today from a friend of mine's mom who makes t-shirts, and she's like, can I use your logo to do this and that? And I'm like, yeah, go for it. My logo is trademarked. Technically illegal to do, but she's not selling anything, blah, blah, blah. She was respectful enough. She asked me the question. I'm like, yeah, go for it. Knock it out. Do what you do. I kind of already know kind of what she might be doing, but I like to see what she comes up with because it might give me some ideas. And at the end of the day, if she does a good enough job, she might get real busy making T-shirts or whatever, whatever other things that she does. So, you got to kind of look at a lot of different aspects of companies and what they do and what they're about and what they're for. That's all I'm saying. People, keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
Just because we're veterans, just because we're producing something doesn't make it great. It still has to be great.
Well, how many dirt bags did you know on active duty? Okay, so when they got off active duty, you don't think they're a dirtbag still? They are. They're just not wearing a uniform. So that whole like, oh, well, it's a veteran-owned company. Yeah, but they could still be a dude,
So, and there's something that I was talking about on one of my lives, and unfortunately, there wasn't enough veterans on there to get it or understand what I was trying to talk about. There's this. It's a very touchy subject. Time and service.
Oh yeah.
So I have seen, this is not the rule. This is not like everybody. I'm not calling anyone out, but I've seen for people that have done less time in service than others, they trumpet being a veteran more than those that have been done their full term. A little more. Some, not everybody. Some people get out and they do their bid and they're good with it. Some people get out for other I don't know why, but it's just almost like they got out and they shouldn't have. They wanted to stay in, but they didn't, and it's like they miss it. So they it's like the person that always wears the camo hat that always, rocks. Like I ran into this guy. So I ran into this guy when I was hi, Gunny.
Yeah, Jesse Esterly, one of Tom and Kyle's friends. He's a Gunny. They just call him Gunny because they don't feel comfortable calling him Jesse.
I don't see anyone on here.
I just seen it. It says he's watching.
Oh, so. I ran into this when I retired and I worked at the steel manufacturing plant. We had a guy in there who's my supervisor who was an actual ass. Because I don't know if he thought I wanted his job or whatever, but every day the dude wore a Marine Corps shirt, Marine Corps hat, every day it was a different, he talked about the Marines. I thought this dude was like with Chesty Puller. He talked about the Marines so much.
Right.
He was a Marine. And, I was talking to him about stuff and I never really talked military with him, but he kept hey, good, talk military. And so, I started, leaking some stuff, just talking to him about certain things, because it's not like I don't really know him. I'm not really going to tell you about a lot of what I went through and blah, blah, blah in the military.
Oh, yeah, sir. I've watched you and seen some of the videos from the groups that you're involved with. And yeah. That's another personal example of a good group.
Yes, exactly. But so I'm talking to this guy and I start talking to him and, I just told him one deployment story, just nothing crazy happened. We flew to a country. We were tier 1 asset because we were flying with the B1s, and we got there and everyone else, tier 1 means you're the big dog on the playground because they had 130s, cargo planes, and tankers. And so when you have a bomber or a fighter, you're going to trump whoever, that's how that shit works. And I was just telling him we're tier 1, so people couldn't work on our ship, but we help people. And I said it was really cool experience working with other units, blah, blah. I was like a composite wing back in the day. And he kind of just looked at me and I was just we were talking war stories. Well, come to find out, the dude never and I don't care, but he'd never been deployed. He'd never been deployed. He's never been, whatever. He did 3 years in the Marines, and because I was wondering, why is this dude so super salty now? I didn't know. And one of the other guys knew him and he goes, what were you guys talking about? And he kept egging me to ask me about deployment. So I just fucking gave him a deployment story. He goes, dude, he's never deployed.
Right.
He never left the state where he was stationed. And
I've been personally attacked on because I got out before 9/11 happened, right?
Yeah.
And when I deployed, twice to Kuwait, it was still a deployment. We got live ammo whenever we left the wire. You know, we were out in the tents. We were sleep, you know, but you didn't really deploy because you know, it's like I got combat pay, I got hazardous duty pay, whatever, you know.
To me, that doesn't even matter. It doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't to me either. But like I said, some people it does, you know.
People it does. To me, it's like they don't realize like it's a continuity thing. So you're in. So say if you were born into the military and you were immortal and you stayed into the ebb and flow, you would be able to see it. Because someone has to be there on the downtime to keep shit running when it's time to go to war. Like, it's not like the military doesn't exist when we're not in war and all of a sudden it exists. No, people have to do day-to-day shit. People have to maintain equipment. People have to fucking do the boring shit. I've been, Air Force does it all the time. We deploy for 6 months to a year and we come home and the majority of our time is training for war and doing a lot of boring fucking training and a lot of boring shit. So people can go fight wars. So people can go fly planes. Like, I'm pretty sure my last month in the Air Force, I worked on a jet that I never got to see drop a bomb because I fixed it. It was a hard break. We worked on it. We fixed it. I trained some people. I took the opportunity with a couple of my airmen to go in there on this hard break job and get it done before I left. I didn't even get to see the thing fly for its fixed flight, but I retired. That's what you do. You get in, you do whatever time you do, and you make an impact. You don't make an impact. You just do your job and you get the fuck out. You know, I don't ever look at anyone's service as suspect, but I always thought it was weird. And the only reason I say this is because I ran into a guy on TikTok who is like an Uber vet. And I call him Uber vet because it's like when you talk to him, it seems like he did 38 years in the military. And to, like, I don't mean the Army, Air Force, and Marines. It's like he did 38 years in the military, right? In all the branches, you know. He was SOCOM, Navy Delta Force, CO6, and then you go, all right, and you start talking to him, and you're like, okay, and you go, and it's not like I go, oh, you did 4 years, like I'm scoffing, like, oh, you only did 4 years. I'm going, it's a mental like thing with your personality. That I go, I'm going, that, like, okay, I see how you are. Like, it's not a bad thing, but I say it's like, it seems like you should have stayed in or would have, you could have, because you miss it. And you're like overcompensating. Well, and
because it's kind of like the high school football, the old joke, the stereotype, the high school, the high school football player that got out. And now he's a cop because he misses that status of his high school, and so that he decides to be a police officer. You know,
he got out, or he got kicked out the military and it became a cop and is a real D-bag.
Right. You know, it's that mentality kind of thing where it's like, I knew a guy at Carson. He got there a little bit before me. He got out as a corporal. He did his 4 years. He went back home. He was done.
Yeah. You know, that's the minority of the story I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The majority is people that just live their lives and you don't even know they're veterans, which is one of the reasons we have Scram, Jett, because we want to bring those people back in to the fold and let them tell their stories, and it helps show other people that have gone through what they've gone through in their lives that you still matter. You are a vet, even if you don't think you are, because like I work with Jenny, but if you look at her on day to day, it's just no one's gonna be like, oh, that was a veteran. No, she's a badass chick who did aircraft maintenance. You know, a friend of ours, me and my wife's, who just retired. You know, she's badass. I can't really tell anything that she did, but when you hear her rip at her retirement and you look at her, you're going, wait a minute, what?
True, Jay. True.
you were pretty much like the female John Bourne without but like what? And you retired as a first sergeant. So you started your job as killing people, then you ended it as healing people. You know, and she did 24 years, but it's just like, I wish I can like show folks that just be yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to put on a facade of the Uber vet to compensate for what you in your head think is not enough service.
The guy that mows my yard, he'd been doing it and like shoveling the snow and mowing my yard. He'd been doing it.
Bougie.
Hey, I got a white guy that does my yard care.
Yeah, exactly. And you call me bougie.
But for about 2 seasons, I didn't know he was a vet, and he didn't know I was a vet until one day he was like, "Hey, I see you got an Army flag hanging on your porch." And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I was Army in Vietnam." And I was like, "Holy fuck," and we started shooting the breeze. But, like my dad, the same way. He has a sticker on his truck that says Army veteran.
Yeah.
Doesn't say drill instructor, 2-time Vietnam, doesn't have the rack, none of that, just says Army vet. But like Jade's saying, you get a lot of people that get out of the service, whatever branch it is, and that was their whole persona. That was it. That was all they were.
Yep. And it's like you run into that, and you kind of know how to deal with that person, because you're like, oh,
you're one of them.
You're one of them. Okay, I gotcha. Know how to deal with you, and some of them do a lot of good.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, there's this, I'm my cousin who's a cop and another cousin in the FBI. They always told me that my talents were wasted on sussing out bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
They go, you should have been in law enforcement because, dude, you can fucking people, you literally spend a day with a guy. And I remember my cousin would bring me around people before I was in the military, and he would bring me around people at parties and stuff. And we'd go home and he'd be like, "So what do you think about that guy?" And I'm like, "That dude?" I said, "Fuck, I wouldn't trust him with a fucking kitten."
Oh,
and
yeah.
He goes, "Why not?" I'm like, "I don't know. He just had this weird vibe about him, blah, blah, blah." And then he would run it down to me. He goes, "Yeah, that dude's blah, 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 fell in, blah, did this, and da, da, da." And I'm like, why were you at He goes, "Well, he was there, and me and him would hang out and go to parties, and he would see people that he have read their rap sheets.
Yeah.
And he would purposely go around them and have me read them, start talking to them and blah, blah, and then kind of quiz me about what I thought about them. And they were like, "Man, you're like a human, you could pick out the bullshit." I'm like, pretty much. I never really got it, but it did me a lot of service in the military. It did me really great service in the military.
Well, and I think you're kind of like me. You're Mother of Reaper. You can pick up on the vibe.
Yep, you pick up on the vibe.
And I could read a book. I'd be like, "Oh, this guy's going to be a pain in the ass." And 2 weeks later, yep, pain in the ass. 2 Article 15s getting chaptered. It's like, I told you guys we didn't need him.
And it was, so half my Spidey sense was great. Other half is it's not the fuck around and find out. It's I don't know who you are. I'm gonna find out myself. So not a bad story. But so we get to tech school, Pensacola, Florida, Air Force. We land there. I actually flew home and drove my car to tech school. And we get there and we in process. And when we're in processing, our MTIs are not there. And so we're just kind of hanging out on base. The Navy base, Marines are on everything. Anyway, this one airman who's already in class decides to show me and another guy around. The other guy's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to go. I'm good. I need to rest." I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'll go take a tour of base." And he's literally showing me, he goes, "This is where," because Pensacola is where they train Navy officers and Marine Corps officers. So half the base, or part of the base, is old school barracks, and they're running around basic training. There's drill instructors, actual drill instructors, not military training leaders and TIs in the Air Force. There's drill instructors there, Dixie Cups and Marines with the freaking deal. And you're walking around, and he goes, "Yeah, we don't really come over here." And he's showing me the BX and, the subway. He goes, "You can't eat here." And there's this place called Portside, I believe. It was right on the water. It was like a mall. So you had the arcade in there and the pool tables, and you call Air Force Gucci. You had restaurants inside. It was kind of like an outdoor BX, and there's a boardwalk. And we go in there, and he's telling me about where he's from and this and that, and it's just kind of I'm listening to him, and we eat. He actually paid for lunch, and we go back to the barracks, and we get in there, and I get this briefing. The MTL's there, so I get a briefing. This motherfucker literally brought me everywhere we were not allowed to go in the first 2 weeks. He literally like walked me everywhere, and just like I'm sitting here, and they're like, "Do not go to Portside until blah blah blah. Do not go over here. Do not go over there. Do not go to the BX." I'm thinking, I've been all of these like everywhere. Like I've been to all of these places. So I went over to the MTI and I was like, "Hey, we were waiting for you for a couple hours, and that guy over there took me, and I went to all the places you said not to go." He kind of looked at me. He called him over there, and he's like, and the guy looked at me like, "What the fuck, dude?" I'm like, "Hey, man."
Yeah.
And he was actually getting chaptered out. He wasn't a bad guy, but he got into a fight. And I don't even know why he was still in the barracks, but he was a good vibe. Well, he got in a fight at the bar and put a dude in a coma.
Oof. Yeah.
And it's Daniel.
It's the boy.
It's Daniel. If for those who watch Stargate and know what I'm talking about, it's Daniel. Jade is writing books. Jade, we don't read.
Oh yeah, Sarah, that's Korea drunk. That's where you got to hopefully have a couple of friends that help you back on post.
I've been that friend. I've grabbed dudes by the collar and held them like a puppet as we go through the gate. And I'm like, and when they would start getting wonky, I would shake them. Like,
yeah,
they would, they're sitting there. I'm like, just hold still, hold your ID, and I'd get their ID in their hand. I'm like, hold your ID, and we'd walk into the gate, and they'd be like starting to freaking get all loosey goosey, and I would like, because I'd have them where literally this shit's like up against their neck, and I got the shit wrapped around my hand,
yeah,
my elbow and forearm and the back of their spine.
Yep.
I'm just like, you're a meat puppet. Just keep walking, and they get all loosey goosey. I'm like, hand them the ID.
Yep. I've been both sides of that coin. I've been the one holding them up, and I've been the one being held up.
I have never had to be held up. So when I was in Korea, I knew how my night kind of was going to turn out. So I would actually go into town, and my first mission was to go get before I lived off base. My first mission was to go get a hotel room.
Yep.
I would like literally go off base, and my first thing was go get a hotel room, and I'd go get a hotel room with 2 keys. Because, anyway.
You never know.
Well, no, I knew. It's Korea. If you don't know Korea, you don't know anywhere on the planet.
Right.
But anyway, and then my night would be whatever. But it was one of those, like, I remember wasn't planning on it, so I didn't get a hotel room. I was pretty faded. We made it back on base, and I was good until I was with a friend of mine, and we're in the back of a taxi, and it's guy, girl, and I'm just like, I need to lay down, and I lay down, and I'm in this chick's lap, and she's like, "Are you like holding my face? Like, are you okay?" And I would have been fine, except as we're going on base, all the street lights are going by, and I'm looking up into the.
Oh yeah!
I was like. And she sees my eyes just rolling back in my head. She meat puppeted me up off her lap. And I don't even know, this chick from like Michigan, so she's pretty tough. She grabs the dude, and I just kind of vaguely remember this, pulls him toward her, pulls me toward the window. And as the guy's driving, like the window's down, my head's out the window, being held out the window, like, and I'm just like, and she pulls us back in, and whoop.
I was lucky enough the second time I went to Korea, I hooked up with a club called the Silver Star Bar, and there was the Silver Star Outlaws. And so if you got too hammered there on the weekend, Adachi, Papa-san, had a room upstairs. Empty room, 2 queen-size beds. First come, first serve, otherwise you're on the floor.
Yeah.
And I've woken up in that room with 2 queen-size beds with 12 people in the room. Like, I'm leaning up against a dude like this, drooling on his shirt, and it's like, oh, fuck, I wonder if Pop's got food going yet,
Ooh, yeah, that's one of the things. Yeah, we we had my first airman was he was reclassed from, I think he was, so in the Air Force you can go do a special duty like special ops and Air Force Honor Guard and everything else, but you still carry your core AFSC MOS with you.
Okay.
So unless like, so when you, except for special ops, like while you're in the pipeline, so technically like the pipeline to get to the world of special ops, as you're in the pipeline, you carry your AFSC with you. As soon as you get through the pipeline into that world,
Yeah.
AFSC is technically cut off.
Yeah.
Unless you are hurt where you can go back to it or want to go back to it or get out of the military. Well, this kid was still in the pipeline. He just got through doing the SEER training. So, you know, escape and evasion,
Yeah.
you know, POW, like straight up prisoner of war, getting beat,
Yeah.
starved and everything. Well, him and the lieutenant thought it would be a smart idea to go, oh, is that Mrs. Tanya Hogan?
Hi, Wolf Design. I think that's what she calls her little thing.
Yeah, it's Wolf Design.
Yeah.
I believe it's Wolf Design. I haven't seen it in a while.
She's the one that
Who
showed
the elf ordered this mess.
Yeah, she was the one I saw her video of coming back from Fort Meade to Box Elder, and I was like, ooh, that looks nasty.
You hit a New York horse, like, did you hit him in the balls when you were walking past him?
No, remember she tried to pick up she hit on a horse like he was a dude. Jade's freaky like that, man, I guess. Who knows?
But anyway, this kid literally went out with the lieutenant and got a 6-pack and drank a beer apiece, and they were fucking hammered.
Oh,
Did they go to medical like they're supposed to? No, they didn't even turn in their gear. They had NGVs, vests, blah, 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 no weapons. But anyway, I get to report on what happened because I was his reporting official, and I'm reading this report, and I'm looking at this kid and reading this report, and I'm like, well, you know, the E9, they call it E9 Mafia, but it's not really a mafia. The E9 is like, it's almost like, what would you call it?
It's more like a fraternity, like the Skull and Crossbones.
Yeah, the E9 is not a mafia. You know,
E4 is a mafia.
You know, the people that are literally fighting the power that they don't have, but they have power if they come together with it. E9s have power. Chiefs have power inherent. So that is a more fraternal brotherhood. Well, anyway, the fraternal brotherhood for special ops, with the chief there, kind of went through the grapevine where this kid was going. So every chief on our base knew about this kid's story. So I had to walk him to almost half the chiefs in base, which I was just like, I wish I would have had the balls or known, but like, we can just have a meeting in the conference room and we can get this shit out all together. But I did get to meet a lot of extra chiefs being his supervisor. But he had letters from CENTCOM and whatever, all these other people, that he was like, as soon as because he was only there on probation. Like, he was back in the regular Air Force because all his marks, all his scores, aptitude tests, intelligent tests, which I always thought was sus because he was this dumb to do this shit. How smart is he? Were off the charts, and they wanted him back. Like, literally letters from colonels and higher ups, like, when Airman so and so is done with his blah blah blah, make sure he's still working out and do. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Well, come to find out, the smart guy, besides doing that, he knocked up the chief of SEER School's daughter.
Oh, big no. Oh,
who also had kids by 3 other dudes already.
Ooh, not so bad, but still bad.
And he had no idea how to take care of kids. So I'm thinking this kid had a deal with Chief to be like, "Lee, I will marry her if I can come back." Because she was a single mom with two or three kids, and I was his reporting official. So in the mornings, this dude like literally never changed a diaper. Never like I'm going over there because his wife, when he got there, she went into labor. Oh, by the way, he had a DUI. He couldn't jump on base.
Oh my.
So I had to drive the wife. No, she drove to the hospital herself. And then I had to drive the truck back so I can pick up his kids so I can bring them to school. And I remember showing up, and he had a little daughter and a son. Luckily, there's only 2 guys and a girl. But his daughter sitting there, it was literally like a fucking movie. Her hair, like, wasn't combed or brushed. It had a barrette and a rubber band, not a hair tie, a rubber band in it.
Oh.
She never diaper on. She was like kindergarten. And I'm just like, she's sitting there crying. I'm like, what the fuck is I walk into? And I remember going to work and going to my boss going, do I have to do this? Like, why do I have to take time away from my family to go handle airmen shitty?
Right.
But no, he went back to, special ops, and he must have made it through, blah, blah. I kept trying to talk him out of it because I'm like, dude, you have kids. You have, like, literally, you married her. You have 4 kids now. You are literally becoming your paycheck. If you get offed, you're just $450,000. Like, it was a mess, sir. It was
big time mess. Yeah,
it was a mess. And of course, they were like, "You're cleaning up." And the only thing he cared about was he had a coonhound, a puppy. That puppy, I remember it being in the basement, and all you hear was howling.
Oh, poor thing.
No, because the coonhounds, that's what the howl.
Yeah,
it wasn't mistreated.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't mistreated, but like it was a puppy.
Oh, okay,
and when you walk over, because he was a hunting dog, and so a lot of people don't realize people that literally have hunting dogs, those dogs are not pets to them. They have them outside or in the basement in kennels, trained. They don't play with their kids. They don't do any of that shit. These dogs, or they're taken care of by the man or the woman who uses them. It's a tool. They don't sit on your sofas.
Like huskies with mushing dogs on the, they're not pets. They're just,
Yeah. And so his dog in the winter would be in the basement, in the kennel, blah, blah, doing his thing. But they howl. And even if you go to pet him, because I was like, why is this dog howling all the time? I'm going to go pet it. And I went down the stairs, and I'm like, it sees me. And I go to pet it, and it sits down, and it's just like sitting there. And I leave, and it's like, how? I was like, that would be annoying as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But tools, not pets. No, seriously, they're tools. It's like, the working dogs for the military. They are kenneled and blah, blah, blah. But when they retire, they get to have a life of relative luxury as pets. But, and some people bring them home kind of as pets, but they're technically tools. I always figured you can balance the whole working dog thing. They can still be a pet.
I've seen a lot of videos where the guys take their canine home, and as soon as the vest comes off, they go into like family pet, Oh, Mike, I've done that before. I've sat here and like tried to, You're not the only one, brother. Trust me, I've done that a few times too. I'm like, oh, frick, I'm not on TikTok.
Wow. But other than that, just crazy. My family dog, Jane.
Aww.
Was it so? Is that bad? I don't know.
Sled dogs the same way. They're a tool. They're fed healthy, good food. They're taken care of with shots and stuff like that, but they're not indoor house on the couch dogs.
Sarah, so was that a bad thing that they seized her, or was that a bad thing that she was? I don't know, because it's to me.
It's subjective.
It is bad.
But,
okay, it is.
Okay,
bad.
it is.
Right,
it was
cool.
bad. Okay, then
But, I just need to know, because sometimes, like, if they have a good life and that's all they do is breathe, I get it. But like, if it's like every time they just breathe, and then animal control steps in, that's not cool.
That's not cool.
That's not a culture thing. They have feelings, they matter. Furry lives matter. I want to tell you. On my food truck, I'll have these and be like, here's your food. Here's your food. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Like, I will cut you. I will. They match my knife. Accessories.
Oh, I just knew you were going to have a good time with tiny hands.
I don't want to see this.
Oh.
Ooh, TikTok's gonna be crazy tomorrow. No, tomorrow, probably tonight. Because if it hasn't stopped snowing, I have to stay up for another 2 hours, and then I can go plow again.
Oh, I was thinking you were going to try to hit up your PS.
I turned it off because I was watching a show, and dude, I'm not gonna be playing Call of Duty for another 2 days.
Jade, I'm sure I could find your Addy if I really wanted to. I know a few people. Just saying.
Combing my beard.
Oh, man. People are going to lose their mind. You put those up on TikTok, they're going to be like, what is wrong with your hands?
Be like, hello. Shh. Shh. Tap, tap, tap. Tap the screen.
It'll be okay.
This is what happens when Dad's gone. When Dubs is gone, the show goes off the rails.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to do. Oh, God, I can't wait. Be the Space Force. The guy that does I'm a potato. I don't have enough. Like, I want to talk to your manager. Dude, I'm gonna go into Walmart. He's like, are you missing a limb? Be like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I want to talk to your manager. Come here. You, right there. Come here. Yeah, this is too much power. You cannot control the power. So I was thinking, I know we don't do it on this show.
You could do the whole like where the drill instructor goes like that and have 1 and then 2 and then 3.
Knife hands.
Oh,
Culturally appropriate knife hands.
I don't even know if that had it fit you, Jade. It might fit the boy. Your boy, not the boy. Your little.
Let me see if these hands make my big black cock look bigger.
Oh my.
That looks pretty weird.
That looks really weird, bro. Just gonna say.
Oh my God. So.
Oh. Oh my.
We're at the 2-hour mark. We need to derail this this train. This needs to stop now. Halt. Stop.
Yeah, right, Jade? Yeah, Mike, that's a lot of hands on a rooster.
Yeah, it's you. As long as I have this when I'm saying it, we're good. It looks like there's like little people trying to steal it from me. Like, no, it's mine. No, it's mine. It's mine. No,
Oh my.
It's mine. Ah, we're taking you to hell.
See, I knew you'd have fun with those.
Oh, professional dog breeders who know what they're doing usually only let mama dogs get pregnant 7 litters, 8 litters total. Got you. Wow. Oh, Dave, you're gonna get in trouble. He's gonna kill you on live. We're gonna get the best ratings ever.
He's not a fan of the peace symbol.
Yeah. So, Dave, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Like every week, if you reach out to somebody and they're not answering or available, keep reaching out because they might be reaching out too. I've had that happen.
In touch somebody's hands.
You know,
tiny hands.
we're none of us better than anybody else. We got to reach out too. I've reached out to Felix. He's reached out to me. You know, we reach out to each other. You know, but that's what we're here for, is just take a little mental break, even if it's a couple hours a night. I hope you guys were entertained, and this is therapy for me and Felix. I don't know about you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Why are these things so fun? This should not be fun. These should not be this fun.
They right? They shouldn't. You notice how when you first saw him, you were like, okay, and now you're like, wee.
It's like I'm the handman hands. Oh, I just lost my audio. Am I back?
You're there. Yeah, you're
Okay,
good.
cool.
You're good.
I just zoomed out. Good night, Mike. Good night, y'all. Like Dave said, reach out, touch someone's tiny hands. All seriousness, these things. I'm literally.
Bro, Amber is gonna smack you if you go in there and just like stroke her hair.
What? But anyway, thank you guys for following us. Those who have on Veterans Anonymous, on Scram, Jett. I hope to see you guys on Crossroads mañana. I gotta take a look at my calendar. Hopefully I'll be there. I don't know what's going on, but like Dave said, reach out. Things aren't as bad as they seem. No matter how bad they are, they will get better. You know, even me, as positive as things go, and even after coming out of Sacred Mountain, I've had my like little dips and rises. I still see the hole. I'm just better equipped not to go to it and go into it. From what I've been through, I know to reach out. I know to talk to my brothers. As a matter of fact, had a talk with my doctor today about the people that helped me come out of my funk that don't call me anymore, or I don't call them. And I didn't know if it was just because I got super busy or they got super busy. Don't feel bad if you don't communicate 100% with everyone else, because everyone else has their things going on. But you'll be amazing what just a text of how you doing or thinking about you will do for somebody. Straight up. Like, it matters. Like, that's the part that I need a lot of people to understand. We make a lot of room in our day for a lot of bullshit. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. If you can literally take the time it takes to go like this, once your phone opens up, and just bam, just like that. That was a text. That was a couple seconds minus the me not knowing how to spell part.
You thought you had the tiny hands on still.
I thought I had hands on. I was like, I wonder, can they text? Oh, they can't text. Oh, no, they can't text. I thought they can text.
Breathe on them, get them warm because it's heat activated.
Get them. Hold up.
Oh God.
But thank you guys for following us here on Scram Jett. I know this is not our usual format, but the normal format king will be back hopefully next week. And love you guys. See you and peace.